guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we have quite an interesting video here. This one comes from Nami, who says, what is shown in this video isn't really done that way anymore these days. But when my grandfather passed away, rest in peace, this was the way it was done. Okay, so we're going to watch the video first, and then I'm going to read some more information about this traditional Korean funeral culture. Okay, link is in the description if you want to check out this video without my commentary, but come back to see it. Let's go. This kind of reminds me of two different things. Kind of reminds me of the Catholic tradition, and also reminds me of a culture they have in Africa as well. And this is Pansori they're singing, right? So if they don't do it like this anymore, how do they do it nowadays? And in Korea, they never do open casket like in the United States? It is quite sad. So, I'm sure you're going to explain afterwards, but where does the body go from? It goes from one location to the other, right? Where does it start? And it probably ends in the cemetery, right? Wait, the family watches the washing process and the wrapping process? Is there a belief for why they do this, or like? Or is it just tradition? And I ask this because there are some traditions that believe that for the spirit to move on, it needs to go through a process. Okay. Is this the widow? Rest in peace. Okay, wow, that is quite interesting how it works and how different it is also. So we have some more information here if you guys want to listen and learn a little bit. These days, it's not done to that extent. But in Korea, when someone dies, people traditionally wait 3 days just in case the person might come back to life. Does that actually happen sometimes? People come back to life? Unless you're doing something to try to make people come back to life, like CPR, right? In the past, there were cases where someone was thought to be dead, but was actually still alive, just not breathing properly. That doesn't really happen now, of course. Wow. Yeah. Maybe somebody's just, they have an illness that the heart stops. Interesting. Okay. After that, the body is washed, dressed, and then tightly wrapped from the feet to the head in layers of cloth so that not a single part of the body is visible. Funeral workers say this helps the soul travel peacefully to the afterlife. Okay, so there is like a symbolism there too. Then the body is placed in a coffin. In the past, there was something called a sangyo, which you'll probably see in some videos. It's a wooden frame used to carry the coffin. The coffin is taken to a mountain, buried deep underground, and a mound, bongbun, is built over it. In Mikhail's video, you saw those really large ancient tombs. Those were royal tombs, which is why they're so big. Okay, yeah, I remember that. They thought it was like a cliff or something, right? They make a small round hill the size of the coffin and plant grass over it. Depending on the person's status or wealth, the site may be decorated with granite and a gravestone is erected. In the United States, people seem to scatter a little dirt over the coffin and then leave. But in Korea, people stay until everything is completely finished. Yeah, so from what I see, people like put dirt on top and then people, the gravedigger just finishes the job there. Also, the family of the deceased wears rough clothes made of hemp. In ancient times, the son would build a small hut near the grave and live there for 3 years, avoiding meat. I didn't know that. Why do they avoid meat? But here's a funny story. King Sejong's father, Sejong, who is the one who created Hangul, the alphabet guy, left a will saying that even after his death, Sejong should be allowed to eat meat because he couldn't live without it. Interesting. And when is it like just a sign of respect? And when guests come to the funeral, the family of the deceased greets them while wailing. It's a crying sound that they make. When I was little, I used to find it a bit funny because people would be talking and even laughing a bit, but as soon as a guest arrived, they would suddenly start wailing. But I later learned that's considered a sign of respect for the person attending the funeral. Also, everyone who comes in is served food and alcohol at the funeral hall. Close friends often stay overnight with the bevered family during the 3 day and sometimes 5 day funeral period, keeping them company so they don't feel overwhelmed with grief. They talk about the deceased, share food memories, and tell other good stories together. Wow. Yeah, it seems like there's a very different tradition in Korea when it comes to funerals. Let me know in your country how it is. And it is a sad period, a sad moment. So just remembering the deceased, the good memories, talking about them, I feel like that kind of helps you cope. But being alone is the worst part of that because you keep alone with your thoughts. So being surrounded by family and friends and people who love you, that's the I think that's the best thing to do. So I've been to, I think, 2 funerals that I remember, which was my grandfather's or was it just one funeral? I don't know. But anyways, don't want to remember that either. And what happened there was an open casket where you could go and say your final goodbyes, and then they would just cover the casket and just bury the body. And that's it. And just add a gravestone over there. In my country, they are normally buried either the same day, the next day, or maximum 3 days later. Because it feels like they just want to get over with. I don't know. I know there are cultures that keeps the body in their living room for months, which I find a little bit odd, but it's a culture, it's a tradition. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen some people mention that's how it's done in their culture. And obviously there's the African traditions where you dance and you celebrate and life goes on. You sing, you dance, which is also another way of coping with it. But thank you so much for showing this to me, Nami. And guys, let me know if you have any other traditions in your country. I guess that's it. If you guys want more videos like this, go over to the playlist. I have a Korea playlist and an educational playlist also where you can watch it. If you want to watch reactions to full movie series shows, go over to Patreon. Link is in the pinned comments, or click over here for more videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.